on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Both Sides 106. Email bothsides106 at live.com. Send your WhatsApp voice notes, audio messages, and text messages to 876 365 346. Remember, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. So stay with us as we listen to both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Oh, both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Yes, both sides of the story. Oh, both sides of the story. Oh, both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Oh, both sides of the story. Oh, both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both
Yes, it is.
sides of the
Yes.
story.
Okay, thanks.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Afternoon.
Oh, both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Yes, both sides of the story. Oh, both sides of the story.
Sending you the link for the song. Jimmy Tucker, 1 Acre. Thanks.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Oh, both sides of the story. Oh, both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Knowledge is power. Classes in session, hour 106.
We have neither summer nor winter, neither autumn nor spring. We have instead the days when the gold sun shines on the lush cane fields magnificently. The days when the rain beats like bullets on the roofs and there's no sound but the swish of water in the gullies and trees struggling in the high Jamaica winds. Also, there are the days when leaves fade from off guango trees and the reaped cane fields lie bare and fallow to the sun. But best of all, there are the days when the mango and the logwood blossom, when the bushes are full of the sound of bees and the scent of honey, when the tall grass sways and shivers to the slightest breath of air, when the buttercups have paved the earth with yellow stars, and beauty comes suddenly, and the rains have gone.
I'm getting me one acre in Jamaica, where the golden sun rises lazily, lighting up the sky or the Caribbean Sea. Sugarcane plants and banana tree, ackee and grapefruit, whatever you please on Jamaica, in Jamaica. I'm getting me one acre, one acre in Jamaica, where the golden sun rises lazily, lighting up the sky or the Caribbean Sea. Down the hill runs a little stream. Ecologically speaking, it is a dream on an acre in Jamaica. I'm getting me one acre in Jamaica, where the golden sun rises lazily, lighting up the sky for the Caribbean Sea. Brothers and sisters live in harmony, peace and love and sweet unity. Jamaica, Jamaica, yes, Jamaica, Jamaica, yes, Jamaica.
1 Acre by Jimmy Tucker, and before that, the poetry of H.D. Carberry, Nature. 2021 to 2030 is the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, the Decade of Action for Road Safety, and the UN International Decade of Indigenous Languages. It's the 20th day of the 10th month of 2023, the International Year of Millets. Millets are cereals grown in warm countries and regions with poor soils, bearing a large crop of small seeds, which are chiefly used to make flour. 2023 is also the International Year of Dialogue as a guarantee of peace. Put another way, it's the 20th day of the 5th month of the 2023 North Atlantic hurricane season, and the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida, is issuing advisories on Tropical Storm Tammy, located, last time we checked, a couple of 100 miles southeast of the Leeward Islands. Closer to home, there's a trough across Jamaica. Again, when you hear that word trough, think of unstable weather or some kind of situation as far as weather systems are concerned. So usually refers to unstable or what some people call bad weather, but trough, that's the word to be mindful of. So there's a trough across Jamaica, and it's expected to remain the dominant feature for the next several days. The rest of this afternoon will become cloudy with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms across sections of most parishes. October is still being observed as Red Cross Month, Lupus Awareness Month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month, Oral Health Month, National Egg Month, Manufacturers Month, Correctional Services Month, Cybersecurity Month, and Domestic Violence Awareness Month. October is also Black History Month in the United Kingdom, and according to the National Library of Jamaica, October is Legal Deposit Month. It encourages every national publisher in Jamaica to, within 1 month of the publication of any document which he or she publishes in Jamaica, deposit in the legal depository of the National Library the number of copies specified. October is also National Heritage Month. It's Belgrade Day in Serbia, Kenyatta Day in Kenya, Revolution Day in Guatemala, and Baha'is around the world are celebrating the birth of the Bab. Heroes Week and Heritage Week activities drawing to a close here in Jamaica now. And this week is also a week in which we observed credit union activities, Credit Union Week. In fact, yesterday marked the 75th anniversary of International Credit Union Day. Yesterday was International Credit Union Day, the 75th anniversary of International Credit Union Day, under the theme Financial Wellness and Member Empowerment.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:15. Me grow up as my granny save her money under her mattress. But at an old time something. That's where I save my money in the bank and become a wife, buy a little house, but also saving a building society. We have to be smart with how we save our money.
So what if the bank crash?
Well, that's where GDIC comes in. Make I tell you something. With the GDIC deposit insurance scheme, once you save your money in a commercial bank, merchant bank, or building society, your deposit is covered up to a maximum of $1.2 million per depositor per financial institution if the institution fails. All the information that you need is available at gdic.org, and you can follow their social media platform for more information.
Protecting deposits for you and me.
The Lauriston and Thompson Pen Community 4-H Club presents their annual Stew Festival and Farmers Market on Saturday, November 4 from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's in aid of helping needy children with school and CX expenses and to create more awareness in their communities. Brooklyn Park, Thompson Pen, Spanish Town, everything stewed. Concerts, kiddies rides, and more. Be there November 4. The Southern Region Manchester Health Department Mental Health Unit present their health fair under the theme Mental Health is a Universal Human Right. Join Power 106 FM this Saturday, October 21 for live coverage of the health fair at the Greens, Cecil Charlton Park, Mandeville, Manchester. This broadcast is brought by the Southern Regional Health Authority and the Ministry of Health. That's an outside broadcast from the Southern Regional Health Authority and the Manchester Health Department's Mental Unit's Health Fair at the Greens, Cecil Charlton Park, Mandeville, Manchester, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. this Saturday, October 21, only on Power 106 FM.
We should let you know as well that this week is National Investor Education Week. Hoy es viernes el 20 de octubre 2023 y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa, Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado, porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones, y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos. C'est vendredi le 20 octobre 2023 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez, que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service pour une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme à l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue. All we're saying is it's Friday, the 20th of October, 2023, and we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices, and that's why we never, ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
Jamaica, where the golden sun rises lazily, lighting up the sky or the Caribbean Sea. Sugarcane plants and banana tree, ackee and grapefruit, whatever you please. In Jamaica, I'm getting me 1 acre in Jamaica, where the golden sun rises lazily, lighting up the sky or the Caribbean Sea. Down the hill runs a little stream, ecologically speaking, it is a dream on an acre in Jamaica.
Some history for you to start off. On this day in 1774, The First Continental Congress created the Continental Association, which called for a complete ban on all trade between America and Great Britain of all goods, wares, or merchandise. The creation of the association was in response to the coercive acts or intolerable acts, as they were known to the colonists, which were established by the British government to restore order in Massachusetts following the Boston Tea Party. Those of us who have ever done any history surely would have come across this story of the Boston Tea Party. And here's another reminder why we need to pay attention more than ever during the hurricane season. It was on this day in 1786 that a hurricane killed people and destroyed crops, resulting in starvation being experienced by some 15,000 people. The damage done by this hurricane was aggravated by the effects from the United States War of Independence, which had cut off food supplies from the American colonies. To restore food production, the British government commissioned Captain William Bligh to go to the South Seas to obtain new food crops, such as the breadfruit. Another one for you. At 4 p.m. on this day in 1801, the House of Assembly met and moved over to King's House in grand procession. General George Nugent read his speech, and they departed to discuss it, according to Lady Maria Nugent's diary. 1803, the U.S. Senate approved a treaty with France, providing for the purchase of the territory of Louisiana, which would double the size of the United States. At the end of the 18th century, the Spanish technically owned Louisiana, the huge region west of the Mississippi that had once been claimed by France and named for its monarch, King Louis XIV. Recognizing it could not effectively maintain control of the region, Spain seceded Louisiana back to France in 1801, sparking intense anxieties in Washington, D.C. Under the leadership of Napoleon Bonaparte, France had become the most powerful nation in Europe, and unlike Spain, it had the military power and the ambition to establish a strong colony in Louisiana and keep out the Americans. Realizing that it was essential that the U.S. at least maintain control of the mouth of the all-important Mississippi River, early in 1803, President Thomas Jefferson sent James Monroe to join the French Foreign Minister Robert Livingston in France to see if Napoleon might be persuaded to sell New Orleans and West Florida to the US. By that spring, the European situation had changed radically. Napoleon, who had previously envisioned creating a mighty new French empire in America, was now facing war with Great Britain. Rather than risk the strong possibility that Great Britain would quickly capture Louisiana and leave France with nothing, Napoleon decided to raise money for his war and simultaneously deny his enemy Plum territory by offering to sell the entire territory to the US for a mere $15 million. Flabbergasted, Monroe and Livingston decided that they couldn't pass up such a golden opportunity, and they wisely overstepped the powers delegated to them and accepted Napoleon's offer. Despite his concerns, the treaty was ratified, and the Louisiana Purchase now ranks as the greatest achievement of Jefferson's presidency. I think we're going to pause there for the time being as we welcome those of you who have joined us on both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Hello and good afternoon to Mike Montgomery. He says, good day, teacher, to you and your listeners. I want you to big up my wife, Vivia. Her birthday will be tomorrow, the 21st, and mine the 24th. Big up to teacher. You're one in a million. Keep safe. You're very kind, Mike Montgomery. Thank you for your message. Velta Wilson says, good afternoon, Dervan, Malcolm, and listeners. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Velta Wilson, and the same to you. Angela Forrest says, good afternoon to all the listeners all over the world. Good afternoon, Angela Forrest. Jacqueline Simmons, good afternoon to you too. Good to see you online. Lorna Foster says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm, and all listeners. Blessings. It's been a while. Indeed, it has. Welcome. Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine is also on board. Good afternoon, Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine. Peter Barkley says, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Peter Barkley. Good to have you on board. Thanks for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Coming up in about an hour or so from now, we're going to be featuring National Day, the National Mammography Day during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This year, it will be celebrated today, the 20th of October, although I'm sure I saw somewhere that said it's actually the 21st. World Mammography Day 2023 will be celebrated on Saturday, October 21st, 2023. National Mammography Day is observed annually on the third Friday of every October during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And yes, it is correct that this year it will be celebrated on the 20th of October, which is today. So you can listen out for that in a moment.
Lighting up the sky or the Caribbean Sea, sugarcane plants.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30.
Beneficiary payment cycle begins on October 18, 2023. Post offices and payment agencies will deliver payments based on last names up to November 1, 2023. Check the weekend star to find out when and where you should collect. If you miss your date, you must collect between November 2 and November 3, 2023. For more information, call Pat at 876-922-8007 or visit the ministry's website at www.mlss.gov.jm. Pat, advancing your family, developing Jamaica. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
Ecologically speaking, it is a dream on a acre.
Hello to Maxine Charlton. She says, good afternoon, Dervan. Maxine from USA. Welcome, Maxine from USA. Faye Weller says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and faithful listeners. I'm here listening to you. Good to have you on board, Faye Weller. And guess who's on the line as well on our text line, same as the WhatsApp number? David Crosburn, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm, and to all your faithful listeners, a pleasant good afternoon.
Welcome.
Indeed, thanks a lot. We're having some Wi-Fi issues, but I've been listening in and out. Just three small points. One, must say thanks to Franklin McKnight for his archival information.
Franklin McDonald.
Yeah, Franklin McDonald.
McDonald.
Information on the tiny house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was only a couple of days ago I was looking at that information, and the population at the time of Columbus' arrival was 60,000 in Jamaica, and when the British took over, the population came down to 12,000. But so part of the reparation calculation is made on that, because they said the genocide was 6 million. So their count would be a part of that. Because under normal situation, the population of 60,000 would have grown, but is one, the Spanish under their government placed them in groups of 30, and they were not familiar and a special government system. They placed the diners in groups of 30, so they weren't accustomed to those sort of treatment and so on. So that forced their decline. And also another important thing about them was in the book, The Story of the Jamaican People, they actually converted a few of the Tainos and given them Spanish names. In that book, you will see a couple of the Tainos with Spanish. In particular, one especially who worked at the sugar factory out in Seville. Well, as I told you before, there are 2 sugar factories out in Seville. One on the seaside or the windward side, and one on the leeward side. The leeward, where the Heritage Office is, that's the Seville Sugar Factory, which is an English factory. But over on the side of the sea, there is the Spanish factory. So, and in Kingston at the National Heritage, there are a lot of works that those Tainos did, beautiful artwork and so on. And all those things could be, rather than having them strewn aside in Kingston, they should be displayed there, showing the skillfulness of those earlier Tainos and how they work well. Are you with me on that?
I'm listening.
Okay, good. All right. The next point is the next point I want to raise with you is the matter on the language, where some persons are opposing whether we should have the language as a special language. That's in the night again. And also, my experience with that, Dervan, I don't think the route we are taking with it is a correct route. I'll show you why. Other experience, my niece was going on the job exchange to the US program. And the gentleman they were interviewing a group of them, and the gentleman placed a scenario and asked the student, how do you handle it? And he said, to tell me the truth, I don't know how I'm going to deal with that, because I have no experience at that. And the interviewer couldn't come to grips. Is another student that was intervene and explain to him what the pathway he was trying to relate himself with. So it's a big setback. yes, we could promote it to some, but to go forward and to be beneficial, it's going to take us about another 500 years. I say, why do I say this? 500 years ago, same place where we have just spoken about, in Seville, there was a Spanish school. The Spanish came and established a school for the teaching of the Spanish language right at Seville there. And today in Jamaica, I don't think 8% of our people are fluent in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with me on that?
About how many?
Hello?
I think I missed the figure. How many you said?
8%. I don't think 8% of the population is fluent in Spanish.
You mean here in Jamaica?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so either.
Okay, exactly. Right. My youngest daughter, she was a top science student in Jamaica now in 2003. And she went to UA and did not microbiology, another biology. And I had three other daughters at UA at the same time. And they were, because of the student loan, couldn't get through. And she decided she going to move on. UA had sent some student to Colombia. And she was fluent in Spanish. And today she's a scholar. And it's the Spanish language she used and pull us all up from our situation because of her embracing the Spanish language. It creates a lot of opportunities when other doors are closed. I don't think the patois would create those other opportunities in another 50, 100 years from now. You know? So for those who are of the view that we should focus on the patois, I think we need some more debating and discussion on the matter, because those real benefits to be gained in a quick time, you know, maybe 100 years, 200 years, because there's just a small percentage of the global population we could relate to with the pattern. So it's something that needs to be carefully thought out, in my view.
Mm.
So thanks for the opportunity and continue to do your hard work, and thanks for all the listenership. And I just say it concerns me tremendously about the level of how we treat each other, and as you rightly said, that we are to embrace each other rather than tearing down each other, and know that each one of us is connected to the other person. There's some connection. We just need to talk to each other and know that there's some connection. And finally, just the point that Mr. Coons was making, he's correct on the NIS thing. It was really started in the sugar industry. In actual fact, Dervan, I'll be brief. Right from in the late 1890s, there has been a series, like commission of inquiries, you know, that started in England. And the one in 1898, the gentleman Oliver, that the Oliver Shield, and he later became a governor.
Olivier.
He was secretary to the, yes, he was secretary to the first commission of inquiry in the 1890s. And he later became governor, and then he was in charge of two of the or three of the commissions, right up to about 1940 or so. So then, the part of that recommendation, they recommended that they set up a social system similarly to the British mining, what happens in the mines in England. So on account of that now, you have what was known as the Prime Minister's Pension Fund in the sugar industry, and another fund, two funds were established. So at the time of the formation of the NIS, those two funds, both the Prime Minister's Saving Fund and the Sugar Workers Fund, was transferred to the NIS. And I can tell you this, although the sugar industry scheme was transferred over into the NIS, they are the worst of majority of the sugar workers. I have done surveys all over, and persons have complained to me bitterly. And I was secretary at Burner Lodge, and 18 years of her 20 odd years were collected but not paid over to the NS. It's an abomination with the sugar workers right throughout the country, and that's something I personally would like to be in a position to lobby for and to see corrected. Some of the lands that are being sold, a portion should be deducted from that and rectify the NIS pension as it regards to sugar workers. But most of those companies did not pay over consistently what they collected from the sugar workers into the pension scheme. So I leave it here for now, and thanks a lot, and be good to you and all the listeners.
Thank you very much for the call, as usual, Mr. Crosburn. All the best.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Blessings.
Take care. Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on a WhatsApp as well. That number is 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. And let's see who else is messaging us. We keep getting a message from somewhere on the continent of Asia. We're not able to identify who this is. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45 on Power 106.
Calling all consumers, hotels, farmers, and schools, this conference is for you. Register today for the International Conference on Climate Change and Food Security under the theme Climate Change and Food Security, Caribbean Readiness at the Cardiff Hall Hotel on October 24 and 25. Features include discussions on climate change
and the Power 106 FM app. Here is a financial literacy tip from your friends at Power 106 FM. Understand, it's in your power to have a positive relationship with money. A change in our financial situation starts with a change in how we think about money. Clearing out any negative feelings like insecurity or fear about money can help remove the blockages that may prevent improving your financial well-being. Your relationship with money is not fixed. It's one that can evolve over your lifetime. Three important things about the psychology behind your relationship with money. Money is about emotions, not just finance. Anxiety or avoidance of money issues may create a vicious cycle, and your upbringing may affect how you manage your money. With awareness, insight, and knowledge, you can start working to make empowered decisions about your money.
Jamaica, I'm getting me 1 acre in Jamaica. Here the golden sun rises lazily, lighting up the sky or the Caribbean Sea. Down the hill runs a little stream. Ecologically speaking, it is a dream on an acre in Jamaica. I'm getting me 1 acre in Jamaica. Here the golden sun rises lazily, lighting up the sky for the Caribbean Sea. Brothers and sisters live in harmony, peace and love and sweet unity on an acre in Jamaica. Yes, 1 acre in Jamaica. Yes, 1 acre.
Thanks for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Franklin McDonald has sent us another link coming out of The Guardian. We want to see it back in its glory. Can the Kingston Harbor, let's bring up the rest of this story. Brought to our attention by Franklin McDonald, formerly of the the NRCA. Can't remember what that stands for right now. Right, Kingston Harbor cleanup. We want to see it back in its glory. Can the Kingston Harbor cleanup be a model for the world? This is in the Guardian newspaper, the virtual edition. Can the Kingston Harbor cleanup be a model for the world? Waste from the Jamaican capital has for years poured into the sea, but now a partnership between Dutch technology and local expertise is offering a solution that could go global. Kingston, Jamaica boasts the world's 7th largest natural harbor at nearly 10 miles long by 2 miles wide. Trade has thrived there for hundreds of years. In 1720, this was where British colonialists hung and gibbeted John Calico Jack Rackham, often cited as inspiration for Captain Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean. In the 20th century, up until the late 1980s, it hosted an annual cross-harbor race. These days, however, swimming here is ill-advised. The city's waste management systems struggle to cope with the volume of waste Kingston produces, with several gullies from communities around the city's edge running directly into the harbor. When it rains, waste from communities and businesses as far inland as the foot of the Blue Mountains is pushed out into the harbor. That presents a massive pollution problem, a problem the Kingston Harbor Cleanup Project plans to tackle. Launched in 2021, it has now collected more than 1.3 million kilograms of waste. But the Kingston Harbor Cleanup Project is not typical of such projects. It is based on sustainable technology and incorporates barrier solutions pioneered in the Netherlands. More than this, it is all being done in close collaboration with the local community, private companies, and non-profit foundations. Clean Harbors Jamaica's managing director, Clean Harbors Jamaica's managing director, Michael McCarthy, describes the project as a shared vision. We got in touch with the Grace Kennedy Foundation, a Jamaican corporate body that gives grants for projects 2 years before launch, and it was a no-brainer because our visions align. We both want a sustainable environment model for the harbor. We both want to see it back in its glory, McCarthy says. The barrier systems have little impact on plastic already polluting the deep ocean, but the ones in Kingston Harbor are designed to intercept new waste from going into the ocean. A solar-powered interceptor tender vessel cleans the collected trash from the barriers anchored at the mouth of the gullies of the almost landlocked harbor and is crewed by local people who have learned their skills on fishing boats. Waste harvested from the barriers is then brought ashore and sorted. Things that can be recycled are picked up by the Recycling Partners of Jamaica, and the Carib Company, that's Carib Cement Company, reuses those that cannot be recycled, says the operations manager, Alicia Rose Beaufort. Kingston Harbor is a case study in ocean pollution, with its complex system of gullies designed to act as outlets for storm waters. According to Rose Beaufort, this has already inspired ingenuity in solutions. So far, we have 2 types of solutions: the barriers meant for deep waters with larger surface area, and those meant for more shallow waters, such as this gully beside our HQ. The project currently covers 3 gullies, and there are plans to expand to other locations in Jamaica, such as Montego Bay. We've had an outpouring of requests, which shows that they need something like this. It's scalable and sustainable locally and internationally, says McCarthy. If this project shows it can work, he says, it has potential for other coastal cities around the Caribbean. A key part of the project has been the partnerships struck, including with the Office of the Prime Minister, the Port Authority of Jamaica, the National Environment and Planning Agency, and fishers from Raytown and Port Royal. Schools bring their students for educational tours. Community members are recruited as staff, but also taught new maritime skills and given the chance to formalize the ones they have. The program is offering local people training on the importance of the environment and waste management and encouraging them to sign up to become tour guides certified under Jamaica's Tourism Enhancement Fund. If community members don't view it as their own initiative, success is more lower. We need them to care, protect, and report on what's going on. So we established the Environmental Warden Program, says Caroline Mahfood, CEO of the Grace Kennedy Foundation. The foundation has a history of charitable and environmental initiatives, including a mangrove restoration project along the Barnes Gully communities. Grace Kennedy, the consumer foods company that set up the foundation, wants to reduce waste and reinforce its ties to downtown communities. The funding for this project isn't about behavioral change, it's about the technology. But we wanted to add more because we felt it would be critical to the success, says Mahfood. The project in Kingston serves as a public and private sector pilot project that can be applied in other parts of the world. The Ocean Cleanup, a non-profit environmental engineering organization based in the Netherlands and founded by Boyan Slat, a 29-year-old entrepreneur, needs good results, as some critics consider the initiative costly and misdirected. In Jamaica, McCarthy says the expansion of the project with deployment of a new barrier will happen in a matter of weeks. In times of climate crisis, he considers that developing new technologies is essential, especially given the risk of flash floods in the rainy seasons when the volume of water washed into the gullies is continually rising. Although the Kingston Harbour cleanup project's efficacy has yet to be proven, it has a full plate as it continues to expand, McCarthy says. Jamaica offers a unique terrain that can help solve a problem, a global problem, he says, giving Kingston Harbour a new chapter in its long and colorful history. And the story goes on. There's a good reason why it says, all right, we leave it there for the time being. Leaving it there for the time being. Let's clear some more messages. Good afternoon to Patrick Williams and all the other members of the Jamaica Association of California. We'll be back in a moment.
Contractors, developers, and small builders. Contact Coast to Coast Group of Companies for high-quality concrete products. The time by Coast to Coast Group of Companies is
3 o'clock.
Don't waste time trying to fill your prescription. Community Meds Pharmacy makes it easy for you. We have the only drive-through pharmacy in Portmore. Have your blood sugar, cholesterol, HIV, pregnancy, and other tests done. Open 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily, including public holidays. Community Meds Pharmacy, Lot 5, Congreve Park, Helsher Main Road, Portmore. Call 876-665-8979. We're convenient and affordable.
The hill runs a little stream, ecologically speaking, it is a dream on an acre in Jamaica. I'm getting in one acre in Jamaica, where the golden sun rises lazily, lighting up the sky for the Caribbean Sea. Brothers and sisters live in harmony, peace and love and sweet unity on an acre in Jamaica. Jamaica, Jamaica.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Good afternoon to Kirk MacD. He says, good afternoon, Sir Dervan Malcolm. I would like to recommend a book to Killers of the Flower Moon by David Gran. Thanks for sharing, Kirk MacD. We'll check it out. Killers of the Flower Moon. Maureen Grant Gauntlet says, a happy and blessed afternoon, Sir Malcolm and all listeners. I'm listening and learning as always. Wishing you all a safe weekend. Same to you, Maureen Grant Gauntlet. Thank you. Herbert Bogle on WhatsApp, not WhatsApp, he's on YouTube. Herbert Bogle on YouTube says, hi, Mr. Malcolm. Good afternoon. I'm watching you from New York. I like your colors. Thank you very much. It's the least I could do for Heritage Week and Heritage Month activities. Don the Jamaica colors. Damian Pollock says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. How is it going? All is well. Thank you very much, Damian Pollock. All the best. Asher Ash in London, England says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan. Just tuning in from London, England. Have a nice day. Same to you, Asher Ash. Thank you for tuning in. Good to have you on board. And all right, we're making some adjustments here with respect to a couple of interviews we have coming up. Stand by for that. Good afternoon to Marvia Hewitt of the Food Hygiene Bureau. She has her international conference coming up. And we're going to be hearing more about that as the afternoon progresses. The Food Hygiene Bureau International Conference, Climate Change, the impact of climate change on food security, Caribbean readiness. And this international conference will run from the 24th to the 25th of October in a matter of a couple of days. We want to give you a teaser where that event is concerned. So stand by for that. In fact, all right. So let's go with let's see here. All right, take it back for a moment, studio.
Jamaica, where the golden sun rises lazily, lighting up the sky or the Caribbean Sea. Sugarcane plants and banana tree, ackee and grapefruit, whatever you please. Jamaica, I'm getting me 1 acre in Jamaica, where the golden sun rises lazily, lighting up the sky or the Caribbean Sea. Down the hill runs a little stream, ecologically speaking, it is a dream on an acre in Jamaica.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112 876-922-4112. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Michael from Belle Plaine in Clarendon says, good afternoon, teacher, to you and your listeners. I'm here in Queens, New York. It's raining from last night. Keep up your good work. Keep safe. And you stay dry. Thank you for your message. All the best. Also joining us, Elorid. Elorid says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. I'm calling on the Minister of Local Government and the Minister of Health to do more for the citizens of Portmore. We are surrounded by dirty water all over Portmore that just sits and not running. Germain Road, George Lee Boulevard, the road to the toll road, along the middle of Bridgeport to Southborough, along Port Henderson Road. The water just sits there, which breeds mosquitoes, and no spraying taking place. We pay the most land tax. Where does the money go? Asks Elorid. Thank you for your message, Elorid. This is where advocacy comes in. If the people don't advocate and agitate for change or for better, then it's not going to happen. The people must insist. Don't expect those vested with the authority to carry out the duties to do the work. Some of them try, a lot of them don't. Here's another message, this one from Jem Marjorie Kim. Good evening, Dervan. Good afternoon. No, that was from the 12th of September. Let's come to today. Good afternoon, Dervan. Who sings that song? Is it Jimmy Tucker or Barry Chavans? Jimmy Tucker. We've been playing Jimmy Tucker songs as part of Heritage Month and Heritage Week activities. This one says, Dear Mr. Dervan, good afternoon. I do ask you to read 1 John 5, verse 19, Revelation 12, verse 9. I am taking your program. Make a church, but just to make people know the Bible. Change the Bible, change life. Have a blessed day. Ja, Gonda, one love. Thank you for your message. Here's another one. This one from Miss Evadne. Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Hope all is well. I'm in class listening. Good afternoon to my cousins in Old Harbor Bay, Aurel and his wife Melissa, and the rest of the family. Enough love to all in class. Keep on shining. Thank you, Miss Evadne. All the very best to you and yours. Thank you very much for your message. Let's keep it going here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Violet White says, good afternoon, Dervan, and all the listening audience. Blessings and peace, everyone. To you too, Violet White. Thank you very much for your message. As we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. What's on your mind this afternoon? The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. And we're also scheduled, as we've said, a couple of interviews to mark National Mammography Day, observed annually on the third Friday of every October during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This year, the day is being observed today, the 20th of October, and this is going to start off with an interview with Dr. Jackie Campbell, one of our colleagues at Power 106. She's a family physician operating out of 6 West Medical in Old Harbor, host of Powering Your Health, hosted on Power 106 FM, airing on Power 106 FM Wednesdays, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we're going to be hearing from her in a little while from now. And then later on, we'll get in a word from the Jamaica Cancer Society through Shulian Brown, Fundraising and Public Relations Officer for the Jamaica Cancer Society. So these interviews are scheduled to come up, but in the meantime, we always make time and space for you, our faithful listeners. And so feel free, whatever is on your mind, feel free to share by calling us on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, and you can even call us on WhatsApp. That number is 876-365-3346.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
If you know one pop down and thank you feel one mosquito and run the dengue. So no make water circle in open container. For them to read up under container. Usher them out, run them away. Tap them with the zapper and dump them with spray. Use mosquito net and mosquito screen. Protect your household now, make them come in. If you know one pop down and thank you you feel one mosquito and run with dengue.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Parents, improve your child's performance with the Children's Zone, a treasure chest of learning and fun, all in one place. Captivating stories, mind-bending puzzles, amazing discoveries in every subject area, and developmental activities. Each issue of the Children's Zone is the door to endless learning and fun.
I'm getting me 1 acre in Jamaica, where the golden sun rises lazily, lighting up the sky for the Caribbean Sea. Brothers and sisters live in harmony, peace and love and sweet unity. On Jamaica, yes, Jamaica, Jamaica, yes, Jamaica, Jamaica. I'm getting me one maker in Jamaica, where the golden sun rises lazily, lighting up the sky or the Caribbean Sea. Sugarcane plants and banana tree, ackee and grapefruit, whatever you please, on Jamaica.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your WhatsApp messages, your text messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. Here's a message from H. Morgan in Birmingham. He says, "Good afternoon, Dervan. Thank you for reading my messages yesterday. I am wondering if the public is able to contact any of Jamaica's police stations. I tried to call the Halfway Tree station 21 times and no one answered. I contacted the police high command and they gave me another number. That number also went unanswered. I contacted the Fletcher's Land police. They gave me a number and it also went unanswered. What if there is an emergency? How do people get in touch with the police? This buzzer, I am speechless to know you are not able to contact a police station when you need assistance. What is the station still open, or why is the station still open? We humbly suggest you bring your concern to that police division, Halfway Tree. There's the Police Civilian Oversight Authority as well. You could bring it to their attention. The Police Civilian Oversight Committee. And of course, there's also the Public Defender. There are a few sources there. And you could also write to the police commissioner. If you're able to try any of those, please let us know. This one says, "Good afternoon, teacher. I'm in class. I would like to find out from the relevant authorities if they are not going to add back the $2,000 on the coffee price that they take off." Gian in Chantilly, Portland. Here's another opportunity for agitation and advocacy with respect to coffee. There is strength in numbers, listeners, those who have these issues to contend with. Get together with the like-minded people. Get together with those who are having similar issues. and go in your numbers. Submit petitions in your numbers. And watch the power of the people take hold on this country of ours. Eight 876-922-4112-5. Those are the numbers to call. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Good afternoon to Mrs. Eileen Budai out of St. Thomas. She says, hi, Dervan, long time. Love your colors, in reference to the shirt I'm wearing. Have a blessed weekend. Blessings. Thank you very much, Mrs. Eileen Budai. All the very best to you. Thank you for your message. Keep the messages coming in. 876-922-4112-5. And just before we have to break for the first of our scheduled interviews, let's see if we can give you a couple of stories trending on the Gleaner's website, Jamaica-Gleaner.com. Let's see what they have here. A main suspect in the killing of Haitian President Jovenel Moïse arrested after 2 years. This is one of the stories trending right now via the Gleaner's website, Jamaica-Gleaner.com. A former justice official considered one of the main suspects in the killing of Haitian President Jovenel Moïse in 2021 was arrested Thursday in Haiti's capital after being on the run for more than 2 years, police said. Joseph Badio once worked for Haiti's Ministry of Justice and at the government's anti-corruption unit until he was fired for alleged ethics violations weeks before the assassination. A woman of action, Constable Jeanne Raymond, named 2023 LASCO Top Cop. And there's a picture of woman Constable Jeanne Raymond being presented with a 2023 LASCO Top Cop award. Woman Constable Jeanne Raymond this afternoon beamed with pride after being named the 2023 LASCO Top Cop. Congratulations to Woman Constable Jeanne Raymond. Well done. Well done. And there's a bit more. The moment is so unreal. I'm a woman of action, said Raymond in her acceptance speech. And let's look at a couple of the other stories trending before we have to break for the first of our 2 interviews. So let's see who this is now. Men accused of shooting and injuring policeman in Central Village remanded. CCRIF makes first insurance payout of 2023 Atlantic hurricane season. That's the CCRIF, that's the Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility. CCRIF, the Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility. The Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility, CCRIF, Friday said it has made its first payments of the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season, totaling $3.4 million. It said that the payments were made to the governments of Antigua and Barbuda and the British Virgin Islands following the passage of Tropical Storm Philippe earlier this month. The storm had made landfall on Antigua and Barbuda on October 2 and passed near the British Virgin Islands 2 days later, causing heavy rains and flooding in both countries. CCRIF said the payments were made under the country's parametric insurance policies for excess rainfall, with Antigua and Barbuda receiving $2,880,424 and the British Virgin Islands $552,297 US dollars. That's the island's first payout from CCRIF. Antigua and Barbuda had received payments in 2017 and 2022. And CCRIF said all payments were made within 14 days of the event. Well done. That's the purpose for which the Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility was established. It's good to see its manifestation in service to those signed on to this pact, PACT. I think we're going to leave that there for the time being. Here's one from Sheikah Brown. She says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Please send happy anniversary to Mr. and Mrs. Thwaites, 39 years together, coming from all employees of FTR Garments." So happy anniversary to Mr. and Mrs. Thwaites, 39 years together. And the greetings coming from all employees of FTR Garment. It is a good thing. It's a good thing to get together and to stay together. Sheikah Brown sending happy anniversary greetings to Mr. and Mrs. Thwaites, 39 years together, from the employees of FTR Garment.
Clearing personal non-commercial shipments at the port? Avoid the wait. Request a contactless clearance through your agent today. It's more efficient. It's secure. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is...
Power 106 FM, the digital sound, now reaching you in more ways. Listen to us on 106.1 to 106.9 on the FM band. You can also listen to us on the Power 106 FM app, which you can download on the Google Play Store or the App Store. Plus, listen to us on onespotmedia.com and the One Spot Media app, or log on to go-jamaica.com. Power 106 FM, where all views can contend, giving you powerful talk radio in so many ways, on air and online.
Clearing personal non-commercial shipments at the port? Avoid the wait. Request a contactless clearance through your agent today. It's more efficient. It's secure. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
3:30. This special feature observing National Mammography Day during both sides of the story is brought to you by Community Meds Pharmacy, Royal Medical Clinic and Hospital, VaMed Pharmacy, Cumberland Medical, and Brownstown Pharmacy.
Save more on prescription, cosmetics, gift items, toiletries, and stationery at Biomed Pharmacy, 4 St. Hilda's Drive, Brownstown, 917-8464, and Main Street, Gale St. Mary, 975-8275. Biomed Pharmacy, for the service you expect, plus more.
Well, as you know by now, it's National Mammography Day, observed annually on the third Friday of every October during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This year, it's being celebrated on this day, Friday, the 20th of October, 2023. National Mammography Day is important because it serves as a reminder and encouragement to women to get screened for breast cancer through receiving a mammogram. When detected early in the localized stage, the 5-year relative survival rate for breast cancer is 99%, and mammograms are key to the early detection of breast cancer. To tell us more, we're going to say hello and welcome to family physician operating out of 6 West Medical in Old Harbor, host of Powering Your Health on Power 106 FM, Wednesdays 8 to 9. Dr. Jackie Campbell, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good. Good afternoon to you and your listeners, Dervan. Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for joining us here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. When you hear of a day like today, when you're reminded that today is National Mammography Day, what kind of emotions course through your veins, would you say?
Well, I am glad that there is such a day as National Mammography Day because it's very important that women are aware of the methods which can be used because they have to save their lives. So methods that can be used in terms of screening for breast cancer. And of course, a reminder for me to do my own mammogram.
Yes.
So that's some of the things that really come to my mind on a day like today.
Yes.
Because it's very important for women, and not just women, men too. Because men can get breast cancer. But it's very important for women to be reminded of this tool that is available.
Well, we don't want to take it for granted that everybody listening has an understanding of what we are talking about when we talk about mammography, for example. What is mammography?
Okay, a mammogram is really an X-ray of the breast. And this X-ray of the breast allows particular specialists to examine the breast tissue for any suspicious areas. So the fact that we will send someone for a mammogram does not necessarily mean or does not imply that that person has breast cancer. What we're doing is really screening this person for any abnormalities of the breast. So you have this X-ray of the breast to examine the breast tissue for any suspicious areas. So what happens is that the breast is going to be exposed to a very small dose of radiation, and that produces an image of the breast tissue. And that basically is a mammogram, what it's all about. I should point out that in my practice, whenever I mention the word mammogram to ladies, immediately they're going to say, you suspect anything wrong with my breast? And I just gently say to them, nothing like that. We're trying to find if there's anything abnormal happening with the breast so that we can detect this early and treat you appropriately.
I see.
That is it. The next thing is that many women are scared of mammogram. Would you believe that?
Why?
Well, just, Dervan, just the thought of you sitting there and the potential answer or the result that you may get.
Oh.
That's one thing. The next thing is that they may have heard that it's painful when in essence it's not. Some persons may have some discomfort when the mammogram is being done because what happens is that the breast needs to be clamped for want of another term, between two plates and using my own terminology. And sometimes that might be a little uncomfortable for some persons, although the newer machines, they don't really do that. They don't feel that discomfort. So what I tell my patients is a mind thing. I say to them, if you feel that this is going to be painful for you, take 2 Panadol, 2 paracetamol, 2 Tylenol before you do the test. And ensure also that you're not doing this mammogram near to your period. Because when you're having a period, the breasts tend to be more tender. So this is part and parcel of preparation for the mammogram.
I see. When should one have the breast examined?
Well, when we're looking at breast screening, it's not just a mammogram. So in terms of breast screening, we need to examine our breast on a monthly basis. So every woman needs to learn how to examine her own breast. She needs to be familiar with her breast underneath the arm, so she has to learn what is known as breast self-examination. That is the first thing. So as you're growing up, you learn to do breast examination, self-examination, which you do once a month. You could decide you're going to do it, let us say, after your period or before your period. You decide when you want to do the breast, examine your breast, and you make sure that you're consistent with this practice. In terms of mammograms, no, the general recommendation is to begin screening at age 40. And this is for what you call average risk person. There are some persons who have a higher risk of the development or for the development of breast cancer. And those persons now would be advised by their physician as to when to start having their mammograms done.
Okay.
That is very important. So the mammogram is part of it. But you need to also learn to do your breast self-examination.
Is this the only way, or are there other options?
What is the only way?
In terms of the breast examination?
Well, you examine the breast, meaning what?
In terms of, I mean, you said there's some kind of a clamp the breast is put.
No, when I said clamp, it sounds so barbaric. Sorry for you to tell. But you know, it can feel that way that your breasts are clamped, but you know, it's not really. It's gently placed between in a machine, and some persons, to be honest here, will say, "Lord, doctor, this thing clamped down on my breast." So that's why I use the term clamp.
Okay.
So I'm thinking it may be saying, "Lord, it sounds like something you do with a car or something like that." Nothing like that.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's serious business. Serious
it's
business.
Serious.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It really is serious. But we know that the reason for it is to detect at an early stage any abnormalities of the breast.
And if I get a passing grade, so to speak, if I do the test and everything seems quite normal, should I start celebrating and thinking that that's it? They don't need to do another mammogram because this one says, we're clear.
No, the mammogram, it's annual and up to a particular age, and the person will be guided depending on the age of the person, also what we call the risk factors. So up to a certain age, we may say to the person, look here, you have these mammograms done every year. After a particular age, you may be instructed to have them every other year. But at the same time, you need to be doing your breast examination So when you do your breast self-examination, if you feel any abnormalities, let's just say you feel a lump, let us say you see an abnormal discharge from the nipple, let us say the one part of the breast looks swollen in comparison to the other side, or you notice that, for example, the last time I look at my breast, they never look quite this way. This is all part of breast examination in doing your own breast. So you can now go to your healthcare provider and say, you know what, something I've noticed with my breast. I'm having a rash, I'm having a discharge from my nipple. The breast never used to feel so lumpy. I have a lump under my arm, hip. So the doctor, the nurse will say, you know what, let us take this further. And you can be recommended to have a mammogram. And in some cases, we have to back that up with an ultrasound of the breast. So there are different modalities in terms of imaging so that we can have an idea of what is happening to the breast.
What's the survival rate here in Jamaica? Do we know?
So when we think about survival for breast cancer, it really depends on the type of cancer that the person has. Plus, I don't want people to feel that every abnormality of the breast is cancerous, because sometimes we can send persons for a mammogram and they have what we call fibrocystic changes in the breast. So you can have certain changes in the breast. They're abnormal, yes, but they're not necessarily cancerous.
Oh.
Yes. So I don't want people to feel that, okay, once you do a mammogram, and if there's anything abnormal, it must be cancer, nothing like that. But to get back to your particular question, the survival rate for breast cancer is going to be dependent on a number of factors. For example, the type of cancer, whether they have some cancers called like triple negative, we can go into that, whether the cancer has metastasized, whether it's spread, all those sorts of things will determine what's known as prognosis. What I want to inform the listeners about is that what we have found in Jamaica, and this is the work of Dr. Jason Copeland, Jamaican breast surgeon, and his team of researchers from the Kingston Public Hospital and other places. They demonstrated in their research that the average age at the time of diagnosis of breast cancer in Jamaica was 54 years, compared with an older age, let us say in the United States. So in other words, what is happening in Jamaica is that the ladies are presenting with breast cancer at an earlier age.
Oh, that's encouraging. Hold on. Tell us some more right after the break, please.
Not a problem.
For any project, ABC Electrical Sales has all your electrical supplies at the best prices. 8 Hagley Park Road, Kingston, 754-3714. The time by ABC Electrical Sales is
3:45.
At Royal Medical Hospital, Clinic and Imaging Center, their highly skilled team is equipped to provide quality health care at an affordable price. General surgery, orthopedics, dermatology, general radiology, maternity care and delivery care, urology, and more. 10 Lewis Street, Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland. 876-955-3154. Royal Medical Clinic and Hospital, providing quality health care at an affordable price.
Down the hill runs a little stream.
It's National Mammography Day, and we have a very special feature here on both sides of the story, Horror 106 FM. Our guest is our colleague, Dr. Jackie Campbell, family physician operating out of 6 West Medical in Old Harbor. She's the host of Powering Your Health, which is aired on Power 106 FM Wednesdays, 8 to 9 p.m. And we are happy she's able to share with us in such a warm and kind and easy to listen to way that we get it. We get it. And so, right. So going to the break, you were making the point that patients are presenting a little earlier.
Yes, definitely. So what happened, as I was saying before the break, the in Jamaica, we're finding that the average age of at the time of diagnosis was 54 years, and this is in comparison to 62 years reported in the United States database. And of interest, Dervan, is the fact that 36% of the patients who were presenting to the researchers, Jacob Copeland and his researchers, they were under the age of 50 years. That is interesting. And also, the fact is that persons in the age group less than 50 years were more likely to have advanced stage disease. So that is what is happening in our setting. And so we have, let us say, invasive breast cancer. It is presented at an earlier age in Jamaican women. And it is associated with what we call poor prognosis, meaning that when these ladies present with invasive breast cancer at an earlier age, it's more advanced, so it's more difficult to treat. And that is why we think about how important mammography is, having a mammogram is. So if someone has the opportunity to have a mammogram done, they should have the mammogram done. So, I'm so like I'm on a bandwagon here, but it has been estimated that less than 5% of Jamaican women who are eligible for a mammogram actually get it. So you understand, less than 5%. Yes.
So we have a lot of work to do in that regard.
There is a lot of work left to be done in that regard because there's no, what we call a national standardized breast cancer screening program. So many women will come to me and they will say, what do you think? I should get a mammogram, or I've been asked I look at I say to someone who is in her 50s, have you ever had a mammogram? And she says, no. I say, have you ever, do you check your breast on a monthly basis? She says, no. Because people are not aware that they should be doing this.
Yes. Well, this is...
That's why things like this are so important. Programs like your program now talking about this, like, so important.
Very, very important. Yes. Well, we want to thank you very much for enlightening our darkness on these matters, and we know that our listeners appreciate this kind of information, and we want to encourage them, those who are listening, to do what is necessary and pay attention to what has been said. So the key thing is being able to test or check the breast for lumps.
Yes. Or any discharge from the nipple, or any scaling or itching around the nipple. So that is what is important for the check. That should be done on a monthly basis, and also follow up in terms of having a mammogram done at the recommended time.
Yes.
And don't be afraid to have a mammogram done.
Very well put. Yeah. Thanks a lot. We could go on for the rest of the afternoon, but we have another interview lined up. But we thank you for adding value to this afternoon's edition of Both Sides of the Story with your expertise, Dr. Jackie Campbell. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Best wishes.
Okay, same to you. Take care. Dr. Jackie Campbell, family physician, our colleague here at Power 106 FM. She's the host of Powering Your Health on Power 106 FM, Wednesdays, 8 to 9 p.m. And she operates out of 6 West Medical in Old Harbor. Waiting in the wings as we continue our focus on National Mammography Day, Ms. Shullian Brown. Haven't seen her in a while, fundraising and public relations officer at the Jamaica Cancer Society. Shullian Brown, how are you?
Hi, Dervan. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to your listeners. I am doing well. Thank you for asking.
Wonderful. That's good to know. Thank you very much for joining us on both sides of the story this afternoon. And can you give us an idea of some of the activities or happenings, events, etc., that are in place or being rolled out by the Jamaica Cancer Society to mark Mammography Day?
Oh, sure, certainly. So the Cancer Society partners with the JN Group this year, and we were fortunate enough to have been given 150 mammograms that we gave to the needy women today. So at the office, we're doing 60 today, and the other women, the other 90, were given appointments to return this and every Saturday in the month of October, and that will spill over into November to get their free mammograms done. We also provided with support through the National Health Fund, Sickness Capital, and of course we had our fundraising activities in the month of July with our Barbie movie premiere in Jamaica, and the funds raised from that as well are going to be used to provide free mammograms. Because you know, breast cancer doesn't happen only in the month of October, but it's right throughout the year. Our women are in need. There are many women who are unable to pay for a mammogram. Some women have never done a mammogram, and so unfortunately, we can't say, oh, well, we can't assist you. We are doing our best as an NGO in the fight against this disease, and we can't do it alone. So through corporate support and individual support, persons who have purchased mammograms and given it to us to give away as well, we are assisting women through those ways.
Mm-hmm. And what can you tell us by virtue of those who turn up at the Jamaica Cancer Society from time to time and have tests done like mammography, as I beg your pardon, mammogram, etc. What are the numbers telling you from where you sit at the Jamaica Cancer Society?
Dervan, years I knew, and breast cancer has been the number one cancer in Jamaica for over 20 years. I've been at the Cancer Society for 15 years, and it has always been the number one cancer affecting Jamaican women. And we see an increase in the number of cases being diagnosed. I think women are heeding the call to action and having their screenings done, and that is what we would like to have. But not all women have health insurance. Not all women are gainfully employed, and so many times taking a test to help themselves or know what their screening status is if they have breast cancer is not necessarily a priority, but they have to pay their bills, they have children to send to school. So it's with that in mind, and this National Mammography Day is about helping women in those similar positions, those underserved Jamaican women who are in deep but would need some assistance. And so we are seeing at the Cancer Society more cases like that, where women are coming and seeking our help, as well as we can't say enough about corporate support and individuals, like-minded Jamaican citizens who have helped the need and seen the need. Many persons are from our church community. Many are retirees, many are returning residents. And so they find a way to give back by giving a donation to the cause. And with that donation, or with those donations, we're able to assist women.
I see. And in terms of fundraisers and supporting organizations and initiatives, what is that? What's the energy like in that regard? Is it buoyant or shaky?
Well, it is shaky. I mean, we understand that persons are coming on the cusp of COVID-19. They're still impacting our economy, impacting many organizations. But we are glad to see as a society, as a Jamaica Cancer Society, that we do have support. It is not what we would love to have, but we can't say we are not getting the support. And in that respect, we had launched last week through the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange a campaign seeking donations. We're trying to reach $40 million to buy a new mammography machine to enhance our screening at 1680 Musgrave Road. Over the years, they've also helped us in trying to replace our mobile mammography screening unit that went down in 2015, coming to the end of its life cycle, and we've also been trying to replace that. And so, without corporate support and without individual support, two persons standing up as members, individual members of the Cancer Society, corporate members of the Jamaica Cancer Society, persons purchasing our pink paraphernalia for the month of October. We have our upcoming breast cancer medical symposium on Sunday, where we invite our medical fraternity to sign up and register on our website to jcs.live. Next week, Thursday the 26th, we have our premier fundraiser, or keeping a breast luncheon for the month of October. And that is happening next week, Thursday, 12:30 at the Jamaica Federal Society. And we're asking individuals and corporate who is listening to your program to support us with that. And one of the major things we want to say, just referring back to our initial fundraiser that we had in the month of July, and back to Relief and Life in June, again, getting the support of Jamaican corporate entities and individuals, families, survivors coming out in their numbers. We had Relief and Life in 2019, and we had a great turnout and support. And as you know, Dervan, that's also one of our major fundraisers. It's not our major fundraising event for the Jamaica Cancer Society. So we do understand that these are challenging times within which we operate. A lot of companies were hard hit by COVID-19 and individuals as well. It has been shaky, but we do, through your support and other media partners that we have been helping us to remain, a little part of people's society that they remember the Cancer Society, and that's what we have been benefiting from that.
And I just saw a message popping up on our Facebook page by Dr. Trevor Dixon. He's an emergency medicine physician at Jacobi Medical Center in the Bronx in New York. And he's asking, how can we donate from overseas to Jamaica Cancer Society?
No, Dr. Dixon, excellent question. Okay, so on our website, jcs.live, there is a button that says donate, and he can go online and he can make that donation through PayPal, either with a debit or credit card, or through bank transfer, and all our accounting information is online, and that's 24 hours, 7 days a week. So just visit our website, jcs.live. There's a lovely pink button that says donate, and just click on that, and all that information is there.
Sounds good. Well, we want to congratulate you and the entire team at the Jamaica Cancer Society for the collective service that you continue to deliver. We want to commend you and trust that you will continue to be blessed with the strength to take on the challenges that lie ahead. Thank you so much for sharing with us this afternoon.
Thank you so much, Dervan. Thank you for having me. Thank you to your listeners. And of course, Dervan, thank you for your continued support of the Jamaica Cancer Society.
You're welcome. Thank you. Take care. Shirley-Ann Brown, Fundraising and Public Relations Officer with the Jamaica Cancer Society. As we wrap up today's feature on National Mammography Day, it's usually observed annually on the third Friday of every October. More in a moment.
The preceding special feature observing National Mammography Day during both sides of the story was brought to you by Community Meds Pharmacy, Royal Medical Clinic and Hospital, VarMed Pharmacy, Cumberland Medical, and Brownstown Pharmacy.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4:01 on Power 106.
Beneficiaries. The past payment cycle begins on October 18, 2023. Post offices and payment agencies will deliver payments based on last names up to November 1, 2023. Check the Weekend Star to find out when and where you should collect. If you miss your date, you must collect between November 2 and November 3, 2023. For more information, call Pat at 876-922-8007 or visit the ministry's website at www.mlss.gov.jm. Pat, advancing your family, developing Jamaica. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
3 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32, Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. And it's time for us to check out a major conference happening in a couple of days, a matter of a couple of days or so. It's the Food Hygiene Bureau hosting an international conference on the impact of climate change on food security, Caribbean readiness. So the theme is, the focus is on the impact of climate change on food security, Caribbean readiness. It happens the 24th and the 25th of October at the Cardiff Hotel and Spa in Runaway Bay, St. Anne. And the best person to tell us all about it is Dr. Marva Hewitt. It's been ages. Goodness. Good afternoon, Dr. Hewitt. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm very well, thank you.
It's good to talk with you again after such a long time. Yes.
Yes. We have some feedback.
Let me see let's make some adjustments here. Should be much better now. All right. Yes.
Thank you.
All right. So let's get straight to it. What's the frequency of this international conference?
Okay, so we have, as you know, the Food Hygiene Bureau is about protecting consumer health through education and specialized training. And our conferences are exactly about the education that we give based on topical issues that is affecting us here in the region.
Yes, and what I mean, there are a lot of challenges, no doubt. How do you decide which areas to cover, considering that there are so many options?
Right. So that's a good question, Dervan, because we have a lot of feedback.
Oh yes.
echo. We're still echoing.
I don't know. All right, so we're making another adjustment and see if this is any different. We hope that's a little better. All right, just a moment. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. We're giving you a preview of the International Conference on the Impact of Climate Change on Food Security, Caribbean Readiness. And this is being put on by the Food Hygiene Bureau. And all right, let's try re-engagement. Hi again, Dr. Hewitt. Hope this is much better.
Yes, it is. Much better. Thank you.
Right.
All right. So you had asked a very interesting question
Yes.
about the frequency of these conferences.
Mm-hmm.
A few years ago, before COVID, I had a vision about the conference to do with food safety, food security, and the scarcity of food. And it was a scripture, it was Revelation 6, verse 6. And I woke up and read it, and it spoke about mixing the oil with the wheat, that we should not mix the oil with the wheat. Okay, so this led me to contamination issues. At the time, the war had started, and we here in the region started to experience food shortage, right, which was linked with, the war in
between Hamas and the Israelis.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. So, what I'm trying to say is that I always have these visions of what is affected, what is about to come upon us.
Mm-hmm.
And I base my experience on those, right? So last year it was a summit on food security.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had that summit at Medallion Hall. And this year it's about the shortage in the food supply chain through the drought and the long period of scarcity with regards to the shortage in the global marketplace. Right. So we have these seasonal issues where we cannot get certain crops because of the lack of rainfall, right? The changes in the weather pattern, we all notice that. And there's the issue of the importation of food, the scarcity in rice. For example, countries have started to hoard food, right? And it's impacting on us here in the region. For example, India have recently introduced measures, right, which limit rice being sold to countries such as us who would have depended on them previously. So what that means then is that we're having to grow more. We're having to encourage our farmers, right, to implement measures to educate themselves into resilient crops that can survive like the drought, the water scarcity that we have, right, in the region.
And who is invited?
Right, so we're all consumers, right? But the conference really impacts on the farmers, the hoteliers, because we are seeing changes even in the beach erosion, right? The farmers, because they're experiencing unusual situation with regards to the growth of crops and within the seasons that we're supposed to receive them, right? So we're inviting the farmers. We're invited the youth, right? Because they are the future farmers, right? These are the persons who have to keep the marketplace going. And so we have courses and workshops that will impact on their knowledge as to how best to survive the season in which we are. Climate change affects everyone. And so we want our suppliers, the supply chain, the exporters, right, to attend this conference, because it's all well and good of having orders to place, but how do we get it if we cannot get the supply.
Mhm. It sounds like it does take a lot to put it together because there are experts from all over,
Yeah.
and yourself included, obviously. How are you pulling it together? What?
Well,
Mhm.
yes, we've had a number of uh, we have a committee in place. So we've been planning this conference for the last 9 months, believe it or not. And you know, a lot of the support that we've had is based on generosity, persons donating their time, even among the speakers. The speakers have actually not charged us for their their expenses, but in fact they've donated it, right? Because they really want to impact on us, right? The changes that is needed in terms of our mindset, in terms of our practices, right? Towards the contribution that we're doing towards the brand Jamaica and also the global economy.
Mhm.
So, yes, so we have over 20 speakers that are coming in. Some of them are online, but most of them are already here in Jamaica. And they will be speaking on the topical issues to do with imported food, to do with how we actually grow our food, to do with resilient crops, right? And also on other areas of farming technology. There'll be workshops, live demonstration. We have the universities on board who are demonstrating new crops, demonstrating new technology that is impacting on farmers and how we are to manage and maneuver in this particular area.
Is this a face-to-face forum or is it hybrid? A mix of both?
It's a mix. It's a mix because we feel that basically a lot of our farmers don't have access to the internet, right? So we have to make it very much easy for them to be able to learn and attend and contribute to the solutions that we're discussing.
I see. And in terms of those who wish to attend, they're listening to the radio and they're thinking, yes, this sounds like a good conference. I want to be a part of it. What do they need to know and what do they need to do?
Right. So they need to go and they can access the conference via our website at www.foodhygienebureau.org and also online, right? They can also call our center at 876-279-4265 to register. I just want to say something about our sponsors locally.
Sure.
Right? We have had support from Separate. We've had support from Best Dressed Chicken. We've had support from the Agriculturist, right, which is a very progressive newspaper for farmers.
That's Patrick Maitland's publication, yes.
Yes, they're very generous.
Mm-hmm.
We had support from Janko, right, and TEF and TEF, yes. So we've had some very good support to help us with this event. It could have been more, but, there we are. But as I said, our speakers as well have been at the helm of this.
Yes, because they have given up their time.
Yes, they have.
Yes.
They have.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. So it's a 2-day event.
Okay.
Yeah, at the Cardiff Hotel in Runaway Bay.
Yeah.
And so it's what? 2 days from 8:30 to 4:30 p.m.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a very packed program, right?
Yes.
And there's something for everyone because we're all consumers.
Sorry, one moment, please.
To Power 106 FM. The time is now
15 minutes past 4 o'clock.
For over 35 years, Brownstown Pharmacy has diversified our business to ensure our customers stay healthy. We stock prescription and over-the-counter drugs, personal care items, gifts, toys, cosmetics, and much more. We offer blood sugar, blood pressure, cholesterol, and pregnancy tests. Also, senior citizens discount. We accept Visa and MasterCards. Brownstown Pharmacy, Main Street, Brownstown. Call 876-975-2271. It's our pleasure to serve you.
Wrapping up our conversation with Dr. Marva Hewitt of the Food Hygiene Bureau ahead of their 2-day conference, the Food Hygiene Bureau International Conference on the impact of climate change on food security, Caribbean readiness, with speakers from all over, not least of all here in Jamaica, about 20 presenters, and various topics: food safety in crisis, pest and disease, grow smart, eat what we grow, soil health through digital technology, agroforestry practices, and more. And we look forward to another successful conference, the 24th and the 25th of October, from 8:30 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon at the Cardiff Hotel and Spa in Runaway Bay, St. Anne. Sorry, you wanted to say a bit more when we had to take the break, Dr. Hewitt?
Just wanted to say that, some of the technologies that we're using, right, is in the opposite direction to where we want to go for the future because of the effect that climate change is having on the planet in a whole,
yes,
but also on our soil, our crops. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to actually invite persons to the conference to come and learn, right, from other regions what they are doing to try and mitigate this catastrophe that we're in. At the moment, it's not felt as much, but we're looking at a maximum of 4 degrees Celsius higher than what we are if we do not take care,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to come and with an open mind, ask questions and learn what other regions are actually doing. So some of the countries that we have who are visiting Jamaica, right? Some of them are already here. We have Dr. Sterling Crew from the UK, right? He'll be talking about the impact on food security, climate change, navigating the perfect storm, right? We have Ms. Petronella McLeod. She'll be looking at Tanzania and the challenges that they have with genetically modified food and how they actually maneuver through getting that to be recognized, yeah, because it's not labeled properly. Now we have Dr. Donna Morrison from Gulf University in Guyana, and she has the tools for climate change resilience in agriculture in the Caribbean community. We have, I'm telling you, it's such a rich program because we have 4 speakers from India, right? And, in India, they're way ahead of us in terms of, climate change and how they're weathering through it. So we have Professor Streamy, who will be talking about the agroforestry, climate smart practice for ensuring food security, right? And the list goes on. We have our own Dr. Ardia Barnett, who will be looking at the impact of climate change and the drivers and invasive species and global food and nutrition security. And she's looking at various examples from Asia, Pacific Islands, and the Caribbean, right? So, it's a wide topic with very interesting speakers approaching climate change and the impact on food security from different aspects, different areas.
Yes. Sounds like there's a lot to see and hear and learn and experience. It's going to be quite a success, I'm sure.
It is. We have some exhibitors as well, right? We have Case will be there,
Mm-hmm.
the College of Science, and they'll have stalls to do with the aquaculture
And aquaponics as well, I think.
Yes, yes, they have. So that demonstration is going to be happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. we have Blanco, who will be there with regards to the export market and trade, right?
Yes.
So, and we have our Caribbean, Jamaica, sorry, that's just chicken,
Yes.
who will be there. So, we have our sponsors in place, and also the range of displays.
Mhm.
All right. Mhm.
Well, congratulations to you and your team. It's already sounding like another successful Food Hygiene Bureau International Conference. We want to wish you all the very best
Yeah.
as you play your part.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sure. Thank you too. Take care. Bye bye. That's Dr. Marvia Hewitt of the Food Hygiene Bureau speaking with us here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. And we encourage everybody to go out and acquire as much knowledge as possible with a view to putting that knowledge to work. Let's keep it going one more time on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. A couple of announcements. Here's a reminder that the Southern Regional Health Authority, Manchester Health Department Mental Health Unit will be hosting a health fair. The theme is Mental Health is a Universal Human Right. Mental health is a universal human right. It happens tomorrow, Saturday, the 21st of October, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning at the Greens, Cecil Charlton Park in Mandeville, Manchester. Free services with a focus on depression and anxiety screening, blood sugar checks, blood pressure checks, nutrition consultation, stress management session, HIV tests, and more. That's tomorrow. Start tomorrow, Saturday, the 21st of October, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning on the Greens at Cecil Charlton Park in Mandeville, Manchester. Free services such as depression and anxiety screenings, blood sugar checks, blood pressure checks, nutrition consultation, stress management session, HIV tests, and a whole lot more under the auspices of the Southern Regional Health Authority, the Manchester Health Department, the Mental Health Unit, and the theme once again, mental health is a universal human right. We're looking forward, all things being well, we look forward to seeing you there at the Southern Regional Health Authority, Manchester Health Department, Mental Health Unit Health Fair tomorrow, Saturday, the 21st of October. Also, for your attention, this is a press release coming from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Jamaicans encouraged to visit health centers, major hospitals experiencing overcrowding. So here's the information. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is advising members of the public to visit public hospitals only if necessary. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is advising members of the public to visit public hospitals only if necessary. This comes as the island's 4 regional health authorities report that all major hospitals are currently experiencing overcrowding and longer waiting times. The surge in persons seeking care stems from the current dengue outbreak, the start of the influenza flu season, other viral illnesses, and traumatic injuries. Currently, There are more than 150 admissions to hospital that are dengue related. As at Friday morning, that's this morning, the 20th of October, there were more than 260 patients waiting on beds across 18 public health facilities. The University Hospital of the West Indies and the Cornwall Regional, Spanish Town, and Savannah Lamar public hospitals report the highest number of patients awaiting beds. Our hospitals always experience challenges with patients seeking care at this time of the year. And in response to this, the ministry, along with the regional health authorities, have put measures in place to ease the burden on the health system. These include extended opening hours for select health centers across the island, noted Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. the Honorable Christopher Tufton. The minister has encouraged members of the public to seek medical attention at any of the more than 300 health centers, some of which are open until 8 o'clock in the evening, in accordance with the country's dengue outbreak response plan. So that's the information that has been dispatched by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Let those of us who have ears to hear, hear. Only if necessary should we visit public hospitals under the current circumstances. No doubt we'll hear more in the news and other platforms of note. So here are a few messages to take us to the next break. Dr. Trevor Dixon, founder of Jaja Foundation, asks, we read that one already. How can we donate from overseas to Jamaica Cancer Society? And Dr. Dixon says, sounds good. Thank you. The work goes on. Reed Nigel says, wow, I just learned about you guys. I am an HP specializing in nutritional immunology and endocrinology. I generally deal with end-stage cancers. And this is coming from Reed Nigel. Thanks for sharing that information with us, Reed Nigel. Keep those messages coming. 876-922-4112-5. Those are the call-in numbers. And we're going to take a break and come back with more in just a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 4:30.
Beneficiaries. The PASS payment cycle begins on October 18, 2023. Post offices and payment agencies will deliver payments based on last names up to November 1, 2023. Check the weekend star to find out when and where you should collect. If you miss your date, you must collect between November 2 and November 3, 2023. For more information, call PATH at 876-922-8007 or visit the ministry's website at www.mlss.gov.jm. PATH, advancing your family, developing Jamaica. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
The Southern Regional Health Authority and the Manchester Health Department Mental Health Unit present their annual health fair under the theme, Mental Health is a Universal Human Right. Join Power 106 FM this Saturday, October 21, for live coverage of the health fair at the Greens, Cecil Charlton Park, Mandeville, Manchester. This broadcast is brought to you by the Southern Regional Health Authority and the Ministry of Health. That's an outside broadcast from the Southern Regional Health Authority and the Manchester.
Jamaica, Jamaica, where the golden sun rises lazily, lighting up the sky over the Caribbean Sea. Down the hill runs a little stream.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5 menos 29. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5 heures moins 29. 现在 TDN 了5点12九分. 29 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, yes, young people, we know it's a Friday, but you know what we always say? Have some fun doing the homework now so you can have some more fun this weekend. How about that? That's right. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. And parents and guardians, do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to go back to the phone lines, 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hello, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon, Mr. Coombs.
Yeah, you told me now. Me got a police, me not judge me no lie. You ordinary 86-year-old Indian man. And then somebody was telling you about threatening. When me got junior something, when a person threatening you, you heard me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear, Mr. Coombs. Any clearer and we would have reached the threshold.
If a person threatening you, you go to the police station. I'm going to kill you, Dervan, Malcolm. I'm going to kill you, cap your bank, all right? You go to the station, you make a report, you record in a diary. Nowadays, they want your papers that you come up with, but first time they don't record you. Sometimes it's very, very weak, they send people come warn the person. All right, you go to court office, you tell them you buy a court stamp, they say you buy a court stamp. When the five of post office, they tell you buy a stamp and come out tomorrow. But day 1, day 2, day 3, you go to court office and you go to threatening warrant. With day 1, day 2, day 3. And just, because I don't come out shame there, come out after, but you already take it out. And the policeman go visit the station at the court office. First time you give you and you give a police. And the police record the warrant in the diary. Even police officers them become feet. And then lock you up for a threatening warrant. But after day 3, day 4, they go to threaten someone. That means you tell them you are there to come to court. So the person will tell you that you never know properly. I thought my lady was telling me that you were a police officer. I mean, Mr. Officer, you're wrong. That you have put me like you want, but when me tell you. When we was about 10, 12, one man quit my father, someone chop him up because from the line and the police was there, the district constable. And when the man come with the machete, I see the district come to me, grab the machete. And the policeman give me paper, the father of paper, which I was threatening. Well, Sharon, when you go to court and you talk, the people, the GP, them rough up the police. You shouldn't lock up the man immediately, but you see the man come and come towards the man. And towards you people lock him up. That's how there's somebody learn you somebody come. You get it straight and clear?
Yes, every word.
All right, thank you. Number 2, you can't tell you this. You married 1959. 15 years married, this November. And my wife was 22, 22. And from the married me, I feel her breast and speed up if you can tell them until she died 2003 and thank God she didn't have no problem like that. So what she said, we don't. You feel her breast, pretty nice to see. So,
Careful now, careful now. Children are listening.
Everybody feel breast. Anyway, have a good weekend and thank for you. So, you get the threat warrant, good like threatening.
Yeah, thank you for the information, Mr. Coombs. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Mr. Malcolm, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to the listeners and your precious callers.
I want to thank you very much for something, Mr. Malcolm.
What's that?
For creating this program and giving average Jamaican a voice to speak to the world. Yesterday I got a call from a member in the diaspora, and a man named Patrick, the man was telling me how grateful he is to listen when we call on the radio,
Mm-hmm.
and how motivating it is, And the man go as far as reach out and tell me, when will his next visit to Jamaica be? And he would love to see me. I'm very grateful for that, Mr. Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
If I have one message to tell the diaspora before I die, this is the message I'm going to say to the diaspora. And those who are not listening right now, you must tell them when you meet them here, Mr. Malcolm, and all Jamaicans who are listening right now, must tell your neighbor and tell your friend, because this world will never be the same again, Mr. Malcolm. Vladimir Putin, he told Joe Biden to show the world evidence that it wasn't an Israeli rocket that mashed up the hospital in Gaza. Vladimir Putin put that challenge out to them. And Vladimir Putin also told Zelensky today that it's a shame how we allow the Americans to use him and allow 90,000 men, Ukrainian male, to die in the spring offensive, which could be avoided. And now they have abandoned him and start a new war in Israel. Vladimir Putin. Mr. Malcolm, to the diaspora and to the Jamaican, I say, you say any asset you have right now, whether it be land, any form of asset that you have precious to yourself that you have worked so hard for, make sure that you have some receipt that you can show how you acquire these assets. Because the governments of the world, including Jamaica, they're going to come at your assets in the near future. And all those diaspora who planning to come and live in Jamaica, make sure that you know what is called a double taxation treaty with Jamaica. What I mean is that the taxes that you pay overseas, whether you live in Antarctica, or you live in Australia or New Zealand, anywhere you live and you're a Jamaican and you want to come back here, make sure you check with the tax office from where you're coming from to find out if they have a double taxation treaty with Jamaica. Because if they don't have a double taxation treaty with Jamaica, when you're coming to Jamaica, the income that you're coming here with will be taxed again. And that part of the tax law is going to be severely monitored worldwide because of the level of migration that will take place due to these wars. You hear me, Mr. Malcolm?
Mm-hmm.
And to all the Jamaicans, I say, when you work for people, those of you working the minimum wage, whatever you work for, once you're employed and you're collecting money, make your employer give you a pay slip, yeah? And if they don't have to print a pay slip every week and give you, they can just WhatsApp it to your phone. And if you want, you can go and print it to make sure that you know that you have an income that came from the gas station, and the gas station pay over your NIS and your NHP for you. So that when you haul, there's something in the system for you. And you must make sure that you trail this money every month or every 6 months and go by the NIS and find out how much is in the system for you. You hear me, Mr. Malcolm?
Hearing you loud and clear.
Yeah, because most Jamaicans, they don't understand money. I hope I'm not doing presumptions. And they don't understand that the government of the world and the government of Jamaica is not their friend. I was at the tax office today conducting some tax business on behalf of a company. The company overpaid the asset tax. You see, Mr. Malcolm, they used to pay tax on their assets, and they overpaid the asset tax. And when I went to the compliance officer, we told her that we would like this lump sum of money to pay other tax type
And she said that it can only pay on corporation tax if the company make a profit, you see. But you see, at the same time, I paid a check for $58,000 for education tax. But when they look in the system said that it's supposed to pay $58,432. And she said that I have to go back downstairs and pay the $432 to clear the tax account. Cash, you know, Mr. Malcolm. When them have 147,000 plus in a year system, overpayment for the company for asset tax. They're not setting off nothing, and they're not giving you back no cash. But they want your cash. What does that say to you, my professor?
Well, they obviously have a system that is already in place, so it didn't start yesterday. It's a system. It's a process. It's So if you're going to seek to get that change, I mean, these are some of the things that members of parliament and the legislators have to pay attention to, because
but they themselves don't even know that, Mr. Malcolm. Most of the legislators are lawyers, they are not accountants.
Well, there you go.
Nothing about figures.
Yeah, well, this is it now. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Professor.
No, I'm just making the point that clearly there is a system in place that would lead to the decision that you shared with us a while ago.
Yeah, I respect the system, but the system is just there to trample and to suck out.
No,
who is willing and able to pay? It's a very crude system, Mr. Malcolm. And you know, if you miss out like a day or two, interest start going on your money. Interest. There are interest rates built in the system. It's a system of money.
Which means you're going to end up owing more than you were owing in the first place.
Thank you, Mr. That's how the government create money, make money, false money. So if I owe 58,000 and I get it's supposed to pay the 14th and I pay the 21st, the government just use a mechanism of interest rate and just make some more money and say never gonna look more money being come to me. Jesus Christ! I wonder what God has to say about these money monsters, man. So Mr. Malcolm, this money thing here, the money is 14 after the management of people before I come off of the phone. Is time more valuable than money, Mr. Malcolm?
Yeah, man, time is everything. Time is life. Time is death. Time is money. Time is everything.
Time is money, Mr. Malcolm.
Yeah.
Explain that to the people. Please, sir.
Yeah, there are most things can't move without money, one way or another.
Yes.
You need money.
That is one of the reasons why you have to pay the High Court judges like the High Court judge, Mr. Skipes. You have to pay him salary till him dead, Mr. Malcolm, because he don't give away time.
Well, he's giving his life in terms of his service.
Thank you, Mr. Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
So why the average citizen, the average man in the road like never?
Sorry, hold a moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
Residents of Spanish Town and surrounding areas, Cumberland Medical takes care of all your general healthcare needs, including minor surgeries. Open daily, including Sundays and public holidays, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Cumberland Medical, 25 Cumberland Road, Spanish Town. Call 876-619-1105 and 6.
Jamaica, I'm getting me one acre in Jamaica, where the golden sun rises.
14 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32, Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned into both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? Before we go back to Mr. Neville Carter, here's a message for you, Mr. Carter, from C. Foster. C. Foster says, Mr. Malcolm, this caller is very knowledgeable in sharing facts about the importance of knowing our rights in Jamaica. I am listening from Maryland and appreciate him each day he calls in. That's your message, Mr. Carter.
Thank you very much from Maryland. Mr. Malcolm.
Yes, sir.
You know, sir, we create money. So we, like me and you, while we best go sleep and plan idea and create. And all the politicians, them do a plan to make law or to take it back from you. And none of these politicians in the House of Parliament, in the lower house or in the Senate, none of them have one word, you know, Mr. Malcolm. We check out all of them we check out. All of them we check out, me and my crew. And none of them have one word. Some of them all have 10 words, you know, Mr. Malcolm. And you see how them deal with money? Them just go around and trick people and set the cat against the pigeon. Because why is it that our pension, you know, my mother is 81, and she never get her 1 year now, she not get her pension for 1 year from Guardian Life. And me and I went up there 3 times. And yesterday she get the pension check in at the credit union, Mr. Malcolm, and not 1 cent of interest going. Let me say to you, Mr. Malcolm, and me thank Guardian Life for finally give my mother a pension. Mr. Malcolm.
Yes.
The politicians them of the world, they are so bankrupt with ideas now that all them can do is stimulate some war so that some money can come out of the piggy bank. And some of them want the rain to fall or hurricane to come so that them can go borrow money from the central bank so that them can use some of them on the shelf, off the shelf, and what you call shell companies to do the work and them collect the money. You have to get serious about money, you know, Mr. Malcolm. So we don't leave the ladies and 14 you have to manage better people. Your time is money, the professor said. I thank you for that, Mr. Malcolm. Because if you give away time, you can't get it back. But if you give away $100, you will get it back. So time more valuable than money. Time is money. You see your stress, Mr. Malcolm. You have to manage your stress, right? That's why I walk. I'm a pedestrian. I walk up and down. Because the leading killer of the Jamaican people are heart disease, high blood pressure, and stroke. And then after that, 1 bag of cancer. Murder comes 77th leader of the killers of the Jamaican people. The rest of them appear stress and diabetes and cancer. All the kill more people in Jamaica last year than gunshot. Yes. You see your money, Mr. Malcolm, as I say, we have to manage the money better. And you have to play a senior role in helping the Jamaican people, especially the diaspora, so that them don't get trapped in the financial traps that are coming. Because I know the Prime Minister not tell the people them when the needs are going to implement yet, you know. Because when Flight Green leave the mix, it was 95% ready, you know. They're waiting on the election for people to vote blind, and then them tell them about the needs. We want to know what the needs is about and how it's going to work with the banking system. Because we don't want those who deal with cash in them business get shut out through the credit card, through the needs in the bank. Because most Jamaicans don't even know what a credit rating is, you know, Mr. Malcolm. And you have to teach them about credit ratings and the importance to pay your bills on time so that your credit score is good enough. And you have to help the people them with that kind of politician now to teach them about that.
Well, you're teaching it right now.
You don't pay the light bill and the water rate and you want a credit card. Because credit card is a good thing, don't Mr. Malcolm?
It can be, but as long as if you have the discipline that is required to responsibly use a credit card. More power to you.
More power to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the financial discipline.
Yeah.
Because what the credit card does for you, it gives you 30 days of credit so that if you have an emergency, you can fix it and it may be the difference between life and death. Don't it, Mr. Malcolm?
That's a good example.
So those who not pay no light bill, not pay no tax, not pay nothing. When the needs come and you're going to the bank and you want money for borrow from your credit union, you'll be locked out of the system, you know, like a alien. Let me tell you that, you know. Because your MP not going to tell you. You want to go on the vote. And you see you reach them when you take Mr. Malcolm. The risk management. You see there, you say something to phone on the radio. And you say, one of the ways you can judge people is how they treat women. Rate you for that talk there. Mr. Malcolm, every man ever need a good woman done.
Well, that's what we all hope for, pray for, or work towards, eh?
A good woman done.
Mm-hmm.
To be continued, my professor.
Who can find a virtuous woman?
Take care, Mr. Malcolm.
Yes, indeed. You too. Thanks for the call. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Here's another call coming through, this time on our text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
Hi. I have just heard you reading that release from the Ministry of Health about what's happening in the hospitals.
Yes.
Well, I can tell you firsthand experience. I took a relative over to the university hospital a few days ago, and they had to sit. There is a heart-related issue, and they had to sit for almost 24 hours before they were finally seen and were sent home. They saw the doctor and got treatment and were sent home. But let me tell you something. It is a disgrace what is happening in the hospitals. The person, when she was registered, they asked her, they were doing her vitals, they did the blood pressure, asked if she was diabetic, and she told them yes. And lo and behold, we noticed that they did not test her sugar. Later on in a section that they had them reading, they were doing vitals. They also did the high blood, the pressure. They asked if she was diabetic. We said yes. And nothing. They never test the sugar level. So we asked, why isn't the sugar being tested? You know what the response was? The hospital run out of lancets to stick the finger.
Uh-oh.
So they run up to test the people's sugar. Something as vital as that. And I understand the shortage of stuff is so terrible. They say even at times they don't even have gloves in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Dr. Tufton, I know he has a tough job. It's not easy to fund hospitals. Not easy. University is not really free. You pay something, albeit not like what you pay at the regular private hospitals. But good God, man, because it is terrible. You wait so long and they don't have the thing. I heard a doctor in the night running up and down asking for something for a patient, and she went around to all the doctors and they laugh at her. No, I'm not like that in the hospital. They help her to give her to go deal with the patient. It is terrible. Dr. Tufton, how do you sleep at night? I hear about the Savlamar Hospital, but it is just indicative of what is happening in all the hospitals. How does he sleep? He has a rough, tough job. Hospitals need a lot of funding. But Nigel Clark is a wizard. Them know to find money. Them know to find money to put in their pockets. Find money to fund the hospitals. Hospitals, security, and schools. You have to find money first. the country is doing better financially based on what you're saying and the inflows into your kitty, Dr. Clark, you need to deal with the hospitals. And Dr. Tufton, as you name Tough, you need to get tough and demand that they deal with it. They need to save lives. When you sick and go over the hospital, you sit down there, you die in the waiting room a lot of times before you even get attention. And then when you do see the doctor, they don't have the things to look after you. It's crazy. It is just crazy. They need to pay urgent. The hospitals need urgent care, critical care. And I don't know how Dr. Tufton can really sleep at night. When these people are ill, you have the air ambulance out there waiting to jet them off to Florida. And they go to the overseas and get medical attention. They don't have to stay here and suffer like the rest of us. They need to do something about health care. It's no use talking, and there is no action. Time come.
Your message is quite clear.
Sorry. We the people really should get up and deal with issues. Deal with it, let the government put it in their face, let them know what is happening and them need to deal with it. Before you vote, don't vote for these people if they're not doing what they're supposed to do. Do not vote. Because you put them back in there again. They think they're doing a good job. Crazy.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Thanks for the call. Sorry to hear about the situation there. All right. Thank you for calling. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Friday, the 20th of October, 2023. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns Monday afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
Brothers and sisters live in harmony, peace and love and sweet unity. In Jamaica, yes, Jamaica, in Jamaica, yes, Jamaica.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
You